Authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta will find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
We are making the virtual HBCU experience available wherever you live through Stillman Online. We offer online degrees in business, criminal justice, psychology, and religion. Stillman also offers technology badges in cybersecurity and data analytics. You can participate in all student activities, fraternities and sororities, internships, graduation ceremonies, and much more. Apply for admission today at stillman.edu. Stillman College, where we prepare you for a different world.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot.
Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
Since 2000. Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
We are making the virtual HBCU experience available wherever you live through Stillman Online. We offer online degrees in business, criminal justice, psychology, and religion. Stillman also offers technology badges in cybersecurity and data analytics. You can participate in all student activities, fraternities and sororities, internships, graduation ceremonies, and much more. Apply for admission today at stillman.edu. Stillman College, where we prepare you for a different world.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Go.
What's up, fam? Today is the 22nd of June. Is today the first day of summer? Was it yesterday? I think yesterday was the first day of summer. Anyway, it's summer, which means it's hot as hell. I don't even know no other way to put it. It's just hot for no reason whatsoever. So, hey, this ought to be a good time to lose some weight. Anyway, it is hey Ursula, how you been, stranger? It is, like I said, the 22nd of June. Here I am. This is Random Thoughts with DVP. Y'all know who I am. I'm the host, DVP. I'm drinking water because I'm trying to get a little healthy. I'm exercising. Got me a new little Fitbit watch so I can do the whole get in shape thing. Summertime sexy going on. So right now it's just gonna be me. Roy's in the background. I'm gonna probably pull him in just cause I missed the good old days when me and Robert go back and forth. But sometimes he be trying to chill and act like he working hard. So just send him a thumbs up and tell him to bring his ass on here. All right, this is my monologue. Get it out the way. Sunday was Father's Day, and I hope all the dads had a great time. And I want to say, I don't want to take away anything from the dads, but I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the transformation. And Roy, you got your mic on?
Yeah.
Okay. And I just need you for this. I would be remiss. I didn't do a lot of Facebooking just because I had other things I had to do. But when I came on, I looked back through some of the things that I saw. And what I didn't see that made me smile is I didn't see a lot of women claiming to be dads. To me, that shows a sign of growth. And I was proud of that. Roy, did you see a lot of women claiming to be fathers?
I ain't see none for the first year.
And truth be told, I'm a Roy, I didn't see not one. So that made me feel that shows that we can grow. Whether, I don't know what happened, all I know is I didn't see one. But what I did see was men complaining about women doing it. And it's like, damn, you know, is it that your life is that miserable that you can't just accept the day for what it is? And, you know, how long? And Roy made a post that just made me go here. How long, and I don't want you to confuse, so it just made me think about this. How long do we live in the past? At some point, we got to move forward. And fellas, if you didn't see nobody complaining, why even bring it up? And here's another thing, the flip side of that, if you did see somebody complaining, why not just unfollow or block them? But we can't sit back and watch somebody do something that's relatively a good deed. They didn't try to rain on our parade or shit on our storm, but yet we decided to shit on them and bring them into a conversation that and me and Roy are just two people. But by our account, we didn't see no woman trying to claim that she was a dad. So why feel the need to remind them that they ain't trying to claim it? And it's like there's a certain point of us where we don't want to be happy. We want to keep up confusion. We want to keep this dumbass battle of the sex going, men versus women, boys versus girls, yada, yada, yada. That's insane. Why does it even need to be brought up? You know, there's a thing that says, I can be a good man without saying something bad about Roy. Why do I need to feel to say anything about Roy if I'm promoting myself? If it's Father's Day, why feel the need to say anything about anybody else? Talk about you and yours and what happened. And because amazingly, what's going on, Trav? One of the things that I've learned to do, and I didn't do this at all initially, and I said I wouldn't, but I've lied to myself. I have learned to start unfollowing and blocking people who bring in negativity on a consistent basis, because to me, it makes no sense that we can't just enjoy a good time or control the narrative. It confuses me, because here I am trying to enjoy my day, and instead of enjoying my day for what it is, let me find a way to make it less. Let me find a way to make it less enjoyable. Let me create some chaos somewhere as I speak to mindless chaos. And that makes no sense to me. It's like we gotta be at war about something to enjoy ourselves. And that's insanity. And it's I don't get it. And what agitates me more is that it seems like men, us, we have a problem with letting women be women. It's like we're in a constant battle with them, you know, and I can use word for this, because Roy is notorious. He's infamous. He's famous for his love for women, Black women in particular. Black women are everything. And this ain't to be racist, but it's just to say that was what's his mindset. He don't look for ways to bring women down. And I ain't saying that every woman is perfect. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that every guy is perfect. But if there's nothing wrong, why do we feel the need to bring up something that hasn't happened? If there was a woman who posted, I'm a Father's Day too, so happy Father's Day to myself, go after her. But if you didn't see it, why bring it up? Why? It's like you want one of them to say something so you can say, see, there they go. And it's like we look for the shit at the end of the rainbow instead of the treasure. And what's the saying? If you keep looking for something, you're gonna find it. And it's because we don't want. Do we subconsciously Are we afraid of excelling? Are we afraid of being happy that we just gotta bring something down with us? Are we that miserable that we love company? Are we so combative with the opposite sex that we need to start keeping score about who does what, who doesn't do this? You know, I did a Father's Day show with fathers. We shared some information. Something we want to do is talk about negatively about women or what was going on. We talked about custody. We talked about co-parenting. We talked about Mo introduced this phrase to us: presence over presence, as in attendance, over presence, as in gifts, because that's got to be the marching thing. And we need to use that with almost everything. Our presence is needed, not gifts. Our presence. When we're felt and we show up and show out, women appreciate us. We can sit back and think of all the things we want to. Roy's a minor historian, Mo's a minor historian, Mindless Chaos does it, Trav got his own show. But gentlemen, Mo, Mindless Chaos, Roy, can you think of a time, anytime, when Black men were down and a Black woman, whether we knew her or not, didn't step up to help us and keep us going? Can you think of a time when they just turned their back on us and said, fuck them, let them stand on their own? And most of us were raised by a single mother. And most of us, that was our first superhero. We had the shows, and I'm not sure how everybody grew up, because I'm just not sure. Roy, who did you grow up with?
I actually had both my parents, but I lived with my mom most of the time.
Okay.
So my mom was a single mother, but she was not a single parent. And she tells everybody the same thing.
Right. And right. Father's Day is not about the man, it's about the father and his child. I would love to get macaroni play with Dad misspelled. And it's a little simple things. So why not just enjoy it for what it is? And see, I wasn't finna talk about deadbeat dads, missing dads, or none of that, because that's not the point of Father's Day. It wasn't to shame nobody. The point of Father's Day is to celebrate fathers who are stepping up. Now, my only caveat is I'm not celebrating fathers simply because they're sperm donors. I'm not celebrating fathers who see their kids 60 days a year and took advantage of the photo op. But if they want to celebrate, hey, I ain't got no beef with that, because if that's all you know, that's all you know. And it is what it is, but that's not for me to judge. But why do we feel the need to try to bring them down when they haven't done anything? See, and I've never met Michael McLaughlin Sr., but he's a regular on the show. We can disagree about a lot of things, but we don't have to degrade each other to disagree or to have engaging conversation to make us better. I've disagreed with Mo, and y'all know Mo is one of my favorite co-hosts. Hell, I disagree with Roy. But the disagreements, as I always say, they never turn into battles where we try to degrade each other to prove a point. So why do we feel the need to do that? And I'm gonna just pretty much reach out and say, I'm sure it ain't most of the guys who follow me because they know how I am. I believe in being protective of our women, because most women, as Mo said, they are ride or die, and they will stick not only by her man, they will stick by men in general. What's up, DeMario? The king is in the house. And we have to appreciate this in its entirety. You know, women love seeing us stand up for other women. Trust me, ask them. We have got to start being reciprocal in that whole thing. There's no need to sit around and keep basing everything we on a scorecard. Who's the better of this? Who's the better of that? Unless you're doing it for fun competitiveness. See, as I said, Travis got a show. And it came on yesterday, and I missed it. But me and Travis can challenge each other about who has a better show. But we're doing that to make each other better. I ain't gonna talk bad about Travis' show. Travis ain't gonna talk bad about my show. That's not the way to make us better. I've been with my JBN for quite a while now. And me and Roy have had this conversation. I left to go because I was into that grass is greener shit. But in the time I left, I never ever said anything bad about my JBN. Roy never said anything bad about Random Thoughts with DVP. I would still watch some of his shows. He would still watch my show, you know, time permitting, because we were both busy. But for us to get better, it didn't require dogging anybody else. And this is where we fellas, because right now I got a bunch of guys on the show. This is where we got to stop. We got to stop doing this. And it's a trickle-down effect because we pass it on to other males without knowing it. And women see this and they look at us because it sucks. Michael, would you say that most men are ride or die and they will stick by their kids no matter what? Or even the baby, the mother of their child? Do we really think that they would stick by them through thick and thin? Now, we're gonna take Roy out the equation, because Roy done talked about, you know, him driving in the middle of the night to sit in the parking lot when his daughter was at work by herself. So, all right, that's what's up. Take care of yourself, Michael. And that's what's up. But this has got to be more of a normal thing. This has got to be where we are protecting our village, and our villages, the women, each other, because we still need to be our brother's keeper. Not as much as we used to, and not as much as we need to. Michael was answering the question about, and this is what we got to do. We got to pass that on. I mean, when we talk about, I get so tired of people talking about slavery. It agitates the shit out of me, because we got all these things, you know, we got all these things that we brought over from slavery that we can't get past. We can't get past this. We can't get past that. You know, oh, you still got a slave mind. I can't have a slave mind. I ain't never been a slave. But for some reason, people think it's a recessive gene that just keeps getting passed. It just keeps getting passed down. But what happened to the protective gene? Why ain't it getting passed down? That's something most of us saw and knew about. That's something most of us saw. Roy just said he had both his parents. So he saw his mother took more care of him, but these are things that we've seen. These are things that we've heard about. I'm watching people post, and everybody wants that old school relationship. Everybody wants that old school relationship. The first thing guys do is say, oh, well, you got to be more like this. But they don't take accountability for what we got to do. We got to step up and do more if we want that kind of unquestioned, unconditional love. What are we doing? And I'm gonna stick by this until I see more women do it, because I still haven't seen it. Most women ain't asking for submission. We are asking for submission. So if we're asking for the submission and want to try to use that against women, then we have to give them something to submit to other than having a beard and a penis. That is not submissible. That's sexual. Best. And so we got to do more. Most says I've seen lots of men who will defend and protect their homie before they protect their lady woman. And that's sad. That is so sad. But it's so true. Do women have a phrase that sounds anything like bros before hoes? Anybody ever heard one? Do they say bonbons before brothers? What's up, man? I'm glad you're here. Do they say anything like that? Anything. I mean, this is what we do. We got all these little phrases. And I use a scenario because I had some people who agitated me because I gave a scenario. And Mo said it. I can go to, and I'm gonna use Roy because Roy here and Roy ain't sensitive. Me and Roy can go to the club. We at the club, chilling, having a good time, scouting women, doing whatever we do. We single in this scenario, so don't y'all be too much. I'm gonna tell Trina, little snitches. So, and I'm gonna use Mo, because Mo here, Mo ain't sensitive. Well, I bump into Mo, hit his shoes or whatever, Mo swing at me. Next thing you know, me and Roy fight Mo. Because Roy my boy. That's what we do when we go to the club, right? Just work with me on this. We're gonna say, yeah. And Amina's here, Amina's my girl. But now, if we see Amina in the club and Amina and DeMario are getting into an argument and DeMario slap Amina, guess what most dudes do? Most dudes, I ain't talking about most, but what do? We know most dudes don't do shit. When I gave this scenario to a bunch of guys, you know what they said? These are some of the, and I gave this to 10 guys. One guy said, maybe she deserved it. A second guy said, that ain't my business. A third guy said, that's how people get killed, jumping to other folks' business. And I'm listening to all these people, but when I give them a scenario about the guy, they ready to fight. So you mean to tell me, if Roy helped me because a guy swing on me, he don't run the risk of getting killed. He only runs the risk if it's a man, because there's no killing. And y'all know how I am. I love facts. And I won't take away family and home invasions. When was the last time any of y'all heard of somebody getting hurt helping a stranger? I mean, I just need to know where this fear factor came from, because I'm so tired of us being black men, especially being afraid to help a woman when they always jumping out and helping us every fucking chance they get. Every fucking chance they get, these women are jumping out there, not just for their family members, not just for their boyfriends, not just for their husbands. They speaking up, they jumping out, they standing their ground, while we are cowering, while we sit back talking about what we gonna do. But when the opportunity presents itself, what happens? We shudder. Now we're fearful. Now we're scared. Black women, as Mo says, are the most unprotected human beings on earth. Now, whenever I see men use this shit, it's always funny to me. Because again, we love to be victims. We love to be victims because we want that sympathy. But then we want to be kings. Then we want submission. Well, Amina, you still with me? Would you consider submitting to a victim who wanted to be your leader, but was scared of everything, may or may not help you because he might get hurt in the process, but he got my back when I want to go do something stupid? I mean, does that make sense to anybody under the totality of circumstances, under the big ass umbrella? Does that make any sense? Because I know somewhere along the way, my old ass is confused. And I ain't got no issue with y'all telling me what my confusion is. Mo, I don't even know why you ain't on this. I don't even know why you ain't here, Mo. Why are you typing? Why don't you just come on here with me? But when does this happen? Why do we feel this need to protect each other, men to men? Why would I risk my life protecting Roy, but I won't risk it to protect Amina or Trina? Because, oh, I might get hurt. I'm so scary. I'm so scary. Make that shit make sense. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying. And I'm watching. You know, I cut back my time on social media. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because I need to be on here more to promote stuff and get y'all to follow my JBN, to bring y'all shows to my JBN, and for us to have these uncomfortable conversations. But it sucks, because most of y'all that follow me are already on the path to making a positive change. And, you know, hell, I'm a bad salesman. I forget to tell y'all to share this. I forget to tell y'all to invite y'all friends to like the page. By the way, please share this. Please invite your friends to like the page. The expected behaviors of African Americans are fueled by stereotypes maintained by status quo. It's like a religion to us. And it's so crazy because we will follow the craziest things, but the ones that make sense, we don't want to give them any kind of credibility. And it's like, how do you pick which stereotypes you're going to let lead you, because we like excuses? And I was telling somebody, black men especially, and I've been one a long fucking time. Black men love excuses for why they can't do better. Oh, well, you know, I grew up in a single parent household, so that's why I don't know how to treat women. You shouldn't me. That's stupid. You don't know how to treat women because you don't want to. For you know, y'all seen a little meme where it says that black men expect single women to do things by themselves because they saw their mama to do it. And every time I see it, I say the same thing. That's so disrespectful. Because what our mama did a good job, and most of our mothers did a good job. I'm never finna, you know, some of the biggest fights I get on are people who dog single mothers, because it's just not happening in my world. But there was no way it was easy for them. It is disrespectful for any man to equate his woman to his mother and be so disrespectful to think that his mother was happy doing it all alone and she enjoyed the struggle. So when this conversation comes up, oh no, I ain't hanging around the wrong men, Sam. I like to have random conversations with random people just to get their mindset. One of the things I've learned is that, see, I can hang around you guys, and too many times we hang around people who are like us, the world becomes foreign to us, because in my circle, I got people who are like me. I got to step out to see what's really going on. And right, and see, they don't affect us, but they reflect an outside world of one, and it's insanity. And at some point, we have to have these uncomfortable conversations. Well, why is this like this? And the only way we can figure it out is to find somebody who thinks like that. Because I can't ask y'all, why don't men do this? Because you do it. So I kind of can't talk to y'all. We talking the same language. So what are we learning? And this is one of the things I do. This is why I love meeting strangers. Minna says it makes no sense to submit to a worse situation than we're being alone. I want to come up, not be dragged down. We should be better together, not worse. And you know, I saw the thing that says, for the most part, most men don't feel comfortable doing certain things if they're not at a financial level. They want to be able to provide, to support, and do whatever it is. But there's a lot of men that don't. They don't mind being carried along. I need to know their mindset so that I can understand it. I ain't finna say it's wrong, because all of us are not born leaders. That's not a genetic trait that's just inherent to males. We like to think it is, but some men are meant to follow. Because at the end of the day, science is what is science. We have our mother, we have our father. So we 50-50 male, female. Everybody's not meant to be a lead hunter. Everybody is not meant to be the decision maker. Sex has no bearing on that. That's just about who you are and how you grow up. And I'm okay with that. But if that's who you are, if you're not a leader, if you're not the one who wants to be out front, then how do you ask for submission in the same sentence? See, if you're okay with your woman leading you, and there's nothing wrong with that, there's some great women leaders. And you can't sit back and say, baby, you can lead, but I want you to submit to me. That it won't work like that. I ain't saying you can't have it. I'm a loser, but I'm a king. I'm a victim, but I want you to trust and follow me. I ain't gonna never get out of this victimization status because I grew up in the hood, because I didn't grow up around a dad, so I don't know how real men should act, because, and I had this conversation several times. It's not a dad that we need in our life so much as a positive male role model. Like we need a positive female role model. It's great if it's mother or father, but a lot of us ended up liking coaches or liking somebody else who was positive to us. That's what we got to have, a positive role model. And then you start progressing, you start elevating. But this whole battle of the sexes thing, it's insanity to me. I'm looking at some of the things that Sam and Bobby and Michael put up, and we've never met each other. But they bring something that I like. I invite them to the show because sometimes they hit me with things I don't understand, and I want them to expound upon it, because this only works Solutions only work when you have a multitude of solutions. See, I can tell you what Darren would do or DVP would do, because based on my situations. But if Roy ain't never been in my situation, guess what? My solution doesn't work the same for him because our experiences are different. I can't tell Mo what to do. Our situations are different. So when we do these, I got Mo, I got Roy, I got Samuel, I got Michael, I got Bobby. That's 6 different ways of solving a problem. One of them should work. One of them should work because now you got more tools on your tool belt. What good is a Phillips screwdriver when you need a flat? It won't work, but a flat will work on a Phillips. But you got to have different tools so that you can get these things going, and you won't get that by having a constant battle of the sexes about who's the greater person. Michael says, my wife can lead with an understanding I'm a man and I have the final say. And, you know, Michael, I'm going to laugh at you because that's what we all like to think. And I always use the comparison of, you know, when we go furniture shopping.
Exactly.
Our wife will show us some living room furniture, and she gonna sit on one and cock her legs off. She gonna say, which one you like best? And that's the one you're gonna pick because they know it makes the fight easier if you go along with it. But she doesn't pick. She just needs you to agree with it so that we both feel like we're a team. And conversely, there are times we have to make decisions. And Mo been married for 1,000 years. They're not the best decisions for him, but they're the best decision for the family.
Right.
So sometimes he got to make a different decision that has no true benefit to him, the person, but to him as the leader, it does. And this is one of those things. Welcome to the show, Mo.
Hey, yes, sir. Thank you.
And this is what we have to understand. I'm gonna get you. And this is where submission is important because I'm gonna say this: Michael is married, Mo is married, I'm married. Any man who don't think he gonna submit to his wife or significant other is sadly mistaken, because there are times when we ain't shit and we need to be led. When we sick, we're the worst babies on the planet. We need for our woman to be able to step up when we're down, and we need for her to step up when we having crazy ass thoughts. Because that's what we do. And we need somebody who's gonna stand up to us and say, and you know, this is my favorite phrase, listen, take your ass to bed. I'm gonna give you something. You're gonna go to sleep. And you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to bed, wait for her to give you something. You're gonna take your ass to sleep. But that dumbass idea you had, she is not having no parts of it. Without that woman, we're gonna keep headed down a path of destruction because inherently men like to be destructive. It's just that recessive gene that rears its ugly head sometimes. Go ahead, Mo. I'm sorry. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm good, man. I'm all good, man. Listen, I just want to say one thing, man. You know, there's been several times where my woman has leveraged me. She leveraged me, man. You know, they offered me some training at work. You know, 3% Black people at my job, right? So they offered me training. Say, go to training. We want to train you, man. 3% Black people at my job. I don't want to go to training, right? So I told my wife about it, and she said, listen, if they're giving you an opportunity to go to training and you're going to learn something that you can utilize, you probably should go. And you know what? It was one of the best trainings I ever went to. So anybody out there who's saying they're not going to listen to their wife or they the man and they got to lead, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you.
Yeah. And this is where, in my mind, leadership is situational, because there are times we got kids. There are times when it comes to the kids, guess who's in charge? My wife. She knows more about the kids than I do because I'm doing this. Ain't no shame in nothing. But when we go to the doctor, guess what? She knows more than me. So why am I sitting there huffing and puffing and want him to keep directing questions to me? Yeah, we go there as a family unit. But she takes care of the kids way better than I do. Truth be told, she probably take care of me better than I do. So everybody has their own thing. There's no 100% leadership. There's no 100% decision making. That's insanity. That's slavery. It's slavery. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just going to tell you, man, I've been in situations where I'm the man in our relationship, but I've been in situations where at the time, the decision that needed to be made, I wasn't the best person to make it. Just the way I think, the way I saw things. So, just having somebody else with a different view, a different opinion, man, that makes everything in the world. Makes everything in the world.
And this is what we can't be afraid, because I've heard guys say, I'm gonna make this decision. You realize any decision that you make without some of her input is counterproductive. It's counterproductive. If you're doing a family unit thing, 98% of what you do is about us. Us. 98% of my decisions are about us. To take a raise, it's about us. I can take a raise, that means more money. Yes? Oh yeah, who doesn't want more money? But if more money means I got to be gone longer, is a raise such a great thing? And this is where you have to weigh these consequences, and you got to talk. You have to talk. Baby, I'm gonna be gone longer. I'm gonna be gone. Well, that may not be good for where y'all at, especially if y'all ain't in a good place. Being gone longer is not the way to go. So you may have to bypass that opportunity. And that's okay. I dated a girl who was not gonna take a raise. Now I would listen to her, serious relationship. I would listen to her come home and tell me how she's doing the work of her supervisor. I listen to this. Oh, they don't pay me for this. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Then she get a call from her friend in human resources. She said, hey, they just opened up a position. Fill out the application. You getting a call from HR telling you to fill out the application. Well, I don't want to be no supervisor. What the fuck? You're doing a job anyway, but you don't want the money. Make that make sense. I don't want to be responsible for people off that, but you're doing it anyway. So you'd rather be at the bottom of the barrel than take this raise that for what you're doing, all things gonna do is give you more money. See, right then, I turned her into a layaway girl. And for those out here with me, when I say layaway relationship, that means we got 6 months. After that, she got to go. Because she's not a keeper. That mindset bothered me, that she did not want to progress. See, I got offered a raise one time that I turned down. I got offered a promotion. Well, don't you want to be a lieutenant? No, because with overtime that I could get now, I'm making captain's pay. If I take this lieutenant, the first thing I lose is overtime. That's almost $35,000 I'm gonna lose. Just to say I'm a lieutenant, I'm good. Don't want it. Man, if I got it, you're right, but you got a different job. You don't get the overtime I get. So if the job you at don't get overtime, you should take the lieutenant spot. Because for you, it's a $5,000 raise. For me, it's a $30,000 loss. Because I work plenty of overtime in my position. You barely work overtime in yours. See, and that's why we can't tell people what to do, because every situation is different. Every situation is different. And we have to understand this. And fellas, whether she your woman or not, one of the best things we can do is to keep uplifting women. She ain't got to be your woman, but give them something positive. Let them know that all black men or most black men ain't shit or always trying to sleep with them. Give her something positive. Don't tell her she fine. Just tell her good job. Tell her you appreciate her for doing whatever. Positivity, man, is something that we got to start adapting, and we got to make it part of our everyday life. Go out of your way to be positive for no reason. Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I just want to tell this story, man, because this kind of put it in perspective for me, as far as where a woman stands and where a man stands in the relationship. It's kind of put it in perspective for me. I'm a big Law and Order fan. I probably watch every show. I probably watched it twice already. But here's the episode that really kind of made an impact on me was, so they had a man and they had this woman, detectives. They go into this bathroom and there's this lady who's dead, and she's on the toilet. She's dead, right? And dude, he looks at the scene and he looks around. He says, "Okay, I know exactly what happened." And then the woman detective says, "Okay, what happened?" He says, "She came in, she put her purse on the ground. She was going to the bathroom. Then the killer snuck in and killed her." And the lady said, "It didn't happen like that." He said, "What do you mean it didn't happen like that?" He said, She said, "It didn't happen like that." And he said, "How could you be so sure?" He said, "Women don't put their purse on the ground." How in the hell would a man ever know that? How? A man wouldn't know that.
Nope. Not unless he spent a lot of time. See, I would know that because I grew up around my mama, and,
Sure.
and there were certain things just ain't happening. I'm like, oh, that ain't what they do.
I'm just saying in general, not
right.
Right.
And right, because we think we know. So sometimes just sit back. But this is where we gotta be. We gotta be progressive. We gotta be progressive, and we gotta accept the union, the community. We need them. We need them. Without them, we don't flourish. We can't keep sitting back claiming to be victims, claiming how disrespected we are, claiming how unappreciated we are. Because, fellas, let's be general. If we took us out of this equation personally, if we took us out of this equation and didn't make it personal, how many times do we see on TV or do we know in real life where dudes are doing disrespectful stuff to women? How many times is it that we see the man won't let the woman go? And we're talking about numbers now, not, oh, I know a case for this. Yeah, we all know of other cases. But what's the norm? Who is the most aggressive and violent in relationships? And we sit here and we say these things. We're not being good leaders. A good leader, depending on what school you come from, some say good leaders lead from the front. Others say good leaders lead from the back. Again, for me, it's situation-based. Mm-hmm. I've met good leaders who led from the front. I've met great leaders who led from the back. It all depends on what we were doing as to what they should be. Is it something where they needed to talk? Yeah, be up front because you're the mouthpiece. Is it something that's dangerous that you're not prepared for? You just happen to be in charge? Get your ass in the back. One of my friends was a major with Riverdale PD. He got killed during a raid. He didn't have a vest, but he wanted to go out with the troops. You should have never been there. You didn't have a vest on. You were not equipped to do a raid. You weren't equipped. We all sit back and we cry and we hate it. Good dude, you're a great leader, but you don't need to be there with your team. You truly should have been in the vehicle. I've been on plenty of raids with command staff. We make them sit in the command post until the scene is secure because they don't have the vest on. They don't have the equipment in case shit turn to shit. This is, we got to understand how this works. Fellas, you can be a leader without beating your chest. Fellas, it's okay. It's okay when your woman knows more about you than a certain subject and she makes it happen. Sit back and enjoy that. Enjoy the fact that she can do it without you micromanaging her. That's slavery. Sit back, understand. Unless you have an issue, why did you pick her? Was her decision-making skills not part of the process? Was her ability to function without you not a part of the process? And these are things you have to ask yourself. Because I do know, full disclosure, I know guys who love puppy dog women. Like, what's the movie Coming to America? They want to tell a woman to jump and they want her to ask how high. They want her to do all of this. And that's okay. Know what worked for you. This scenario won't work for you. But for the bulk of us who are looking for a true teammate, a true partner, in reality, how much are you actually at the top? You know, 60-40, 70-30. It ain't 99-1. One of my friends on this very post got sick. I ain't gonna call his name, I'm gonna let him speak for himself. But he caught COVID. I watched his post, I talked to him. Every time I talked to him, you know what he would say? He brought up what his wife was doing for him. Now, he's strong. One of the strongest dudes I know. Got a booming voice. Stand up straight. Marine to his heart. But when COVID hit, guess what? He wasn't shit. His woman was running everything. His woman was making sure he did this. His woman was making sure. And every time we talked, he talked about how she was taking care of him. He understood who was running the relationship at that time because he couldn't. Submission is a two-way street in most real relationships.
Let me just add this, DVP. I just want to say this, man. You are not doing yourself any favor if you put up obstructions and limitations for what your woman can do. They are stronger than you could even imagine. They can do things you probably don't even know. If you're that kind of dude that put on limitations and barriers, trust me on that.
And it's okay. But this is why we have to. This is why we must be more accepting of them and less confrontational. Our daughters are watching it. Our wives' friends are watching it. They looking at it. They want to. Most women that I have run across, even the little hood rats, most of them want a strong man to fall behind and take up the slack when they need to.
Right.
They just can't find them. It ain't enough of me. It ain't enough of Mo. It ain't enough of Mason. It ain't enough Bobbies, Michaels. It ain't enough of us. So it ain't. What do? Most of them truly do want to be led. They want to be led, but we too busy crying that we victims. Woe is me, woe is me. Listen, what they say, smile and the whole world smiles with you. Crying, you'll cry alone. Don't nobody got time to hear your little whiny ass stories. Fellas, that's not, it sucks with our mental health that we don't do better at it, but it's reality. Women are built to help each other out when there's sadness and they're crying. Most of us men, unfortunately, we're working on it. We're not built to deal with each other when it comes to a typical conversation. We don't know how to handle it. We're still learning this process because we've been taught to be strong and yada, 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 yada. That freight bravado is what gives us such high stress. It's what makes us, because we can't sit back and embrace it. I tell the story of, I met a guy on Facebook and he sent out a help message. I know this because I suffer from depression. We talked. First time, 4 fucking hours. 4 hours we talked. I'm crying, he crying. Why the fuck am I crying with a stranger? Why the fuck is he crying on me? But I've learned to let that part go and stop trying to be macho. All situations don't call for machismo. They don't. But it took me to be 50-something to accept that as a fact of life. It took me. And since Mason stepped up, yes, Mason, I was talking about you. And he said my wife saved my life when I had COVID-19. And if I would have had one of the other two, I wouldn't be here today. See, you got to pick a good woman who can take up the slack when you need it. And guess what, fellas? It's okay. I'm telling you this because I ain't religious. It's okay to make a mistake and start over from scratch. I married the wrong woman twice. Accountability and responsibility. Accept that and keep moving. Don't keep digging a ditch if you know you're sinking. Ditch is not what you need when you're sinking. You need to get your ass out of the water.
I just want to add to that and just say, what it comes down to is, using the right tools. If you get a splinter, you're not going to tell somebody pass you a hammer so you can get the splinter out. It's the wrong tool.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It comes down to, using the right tool at the right time when you need it. And that's a symbolism of relationships. Same thing.
And that's why I love talking to my audience, because again, what did I say first? It's about having different tools. When you got a multitude of tools, you can solve a multitude of problems. If all you got a hammer, you only got so many problems you can fix. But if you got a hammer, a Phillips head, a flathead, a wrench, this, that, boom, you getting there. You finna be a master mechanic because now you got different ways of handling stuff. Because there are different ways. We can all have the same problem and the same solution won't work for all of us. And this is one of those things where when people ask me, what would I do? I don't ever tell them what I would do because I don't know your situation. I don't know what you guys have been through. What you've been through and who you're with determines a lot. And we have to understand this. And as men, we have to do better. Ladies, this is why I'm going to hold you accountable. As women, you hold a goal. Demand better. Demand better. The man who loves you and really wants you, I guarantee you all the men will answer to this one. The man who loves you will step up when you demand better. See, no matter how good of men we are, guess what we're going to do when we don't care? We're going to take the path of least resistance. We're going to take that path because we don't care. So if you leave us, we don't care. But when we find that right one, when she meets us with resistance, guess what? We lacing up, because we ain't going nowhere. We finna fight for this one. She demand that we step up. She demand that we pull our pants up off our ass. She demand that we dress better. She demanding that we stop. She ain't gonna tell us to stop drinking. She gonna tell us she don't like drinkers or smokers. And guess what? We start cutting back. Hey, what's that on your arm? Oh, I done got this patch. Why you get the patch? Shit, I'm finna give up smoking. Why you gonna do that? We ain't gonna tell us for her. Yeah, my lungs ain't getting no better, because, we don't want to admit that we're doing it for her. Because this is one of the things I said, how did I get it right the third time? Hey, Bobby, I'm still a work in progress. But the third time, there were things that I liked the way she pushed me, because I had married a pushover because she was pretty. I got married the first time for the wrongest reason. I got married the second time for the wrongest reason. The third one, she pushed me. She made me uncomfortable, but she made me think about what I was doing. She didn't let me just tell her bullshit, and she took my bullshit and swallowed it whole. She gave me the little side eye look. And we separated for a minute. And when we separated, I knew that I wanted her back. I was going to accept the separation because it was my fault. I wasn't going to accept it easily. Oh, you're gonna have to work to get rid of me now. You're gonna have to work to get rid of me now. I'm coming to New York and I want to see you, and I'm gonna need you to look me in my face, because I want to apologize, because y'all know Trina from New York. I didn't want to apologize on the phone. I mean, I did the first time, but I told her I need to see you again so I can apologize to you face to face. If you still want to be together, I'm gonna accept that. But for what I did, and I was wrong, she deserved a face-to-face apology. I flew to New York to apologize. I wouldn't have did that with the first two. I would have found reasons why I wasn't wrong, because I didn't care. And this is one of the things you learn. And I tell people, I ain't gonna turn this into this type of show yet, but one of the first things that we, in my opinion, that we learn when we know we're with the right woman is we automatically start cutting off other women. But that only works if you're a serial dater, because I would date several women at a time. I started letting go of women because I was trying to go out with them, to be hard and show I was still a player, but my mind was always on her. I was missing all the little clues when they was flirting with me. I was missing all the clues they wanted to have sex with me because I was thinking about Trina. So I just took myself out of the equation. But she never told me I had to get rid of them. She never gave me any true directives or demands. And this is one of the ways when we know what we want to be. I'm sure. Where your wife at, Mom? I don't want to get you in no trouble. She can't hear me, can she?
No, we good. Go ahead, man.
Okay. See, I'm sure it's like kids. We got a woman and we love her. But that don't mean we ain't thought the B word. We ain't thought I can't stand this MF for the day. Oh my God, why did I marry this woman? But guess what? We go to sleep, we don't voice it, and we wake up and everything is better. But we had it. Don't we have that full range of emotion, Mo?
No doubt.
And I'm sure she does too. I'm sure she be looking at shit like, man, I'm gonna kick this motherfucker down the steps. But we go to sleep and wake up and it's all good. So it's okay to have rambling thoughts because it's just who we are. And Mike said, crying is not a sign of weakness. Sometimes we cry just because our load is too heavy. Crying. I've learned sometimes crying don't even mean I'm as sad as I think I was. Because I caught myself crying and couldn't figure out why the fuck I'm crying. I don't feel bad. Ain't nothing wrong. And then I start thinking about everything that's going on and I got too much on my mind and it needs to come out. And we cry. And it's okay. If you're lucky, you got a good woman and you can tell her why you crying, or she knows just to let you lay your head on her lap. And she don't say shit. She lets you cry and get it out. If you want to talk, you talk. If you don't, you don't. But she's not going to ask you 20 questions. And as men, we learn the same thing over time. One of the things that it took me a while to learn is there's a time to be a friend. There's a time to be a husband. Sometimes your wife, your significant other, fellas, will tell you something. Mo is guilty of this. I'm going to put Mo on the spot. As men, as soon as we hear a problem, what's the first thing we want to do, Mo?
Problem solve.
We want to solve it. But guess what? Sometimes our woman just want to vent. She don't need us to fix shit. Nothing. She just need for us to shut the fuck up and listen.
That's it.
And we got to learn to be a friend and not a husband. See, once you get that little down, And with me and my wife, because I understood it, I said, hey, just come up with a code word, babe, or just tell me up front. I need to talk to my friend. Then I will take my tool belt out and stop trying to fix it.
Yep.
Sometimes she just want to talk.
That's key right there, man. That's so key, and it can save your marriage because you could. I'll tell you right now, if your woman has a problem and you come in like DVP said, trying to fix things, and she just needs to talk and vent, it gets worse for her because now you're not even listening to her, and she still got the problem.
Yeah, you in fixing mode. She just needs you to be in hearing mode.
Exactly.
And we learn this, and this is why it's so important to stop with the wars. Sometimes when women are telling a problem, and I tell people this, I'm a man, Mo's a man. When we post things, we're posting them from our perspective. So yeah, I see things as a man. I ain't trying to doubt nobody. When a woman posts something, if you're trying to be helpful, don't say what about. I hate when people come, well, women do it too. That's not what we're talking about. Post that shit on your page. I want men to do better. So I have to say, when this is this, well, what about women? I'm not a woman. I can't say what they should do. It's about us holding each other accountable, which is why when Michael, Bobby, and Mo and the crew show up, I love the exchange of information because we're all different. We're all married to a different woman. All of our experiences, some of the things are going to be so similar, but then some are going to be so different. Again, multiple tools on the tool belt help make things much more effective. They make it much more effective. But we got to stop this battle of the sexes for the wrongest reason, seeing who was the wrongest, who was the worstest. If you think your woman is that wrong or that bad, leave. Fucking leave. Don't sit there and keep saying, well, you did this, and all y'all doing is throwing rocks at each other. Don't get it twisted now. Again, I ain't trying to get more in trouble because I don't want his wife coming to Atlanta, but we all have fights. It's okay, as long as the fight is about getting better. A lot of the arguments about the way one of us chose to do something, not about the decision itself, but why didn't you do this as opposed to this? If we just fight and throwing jabs at each other and slurs, then clearly we don't belong together. And you have to understand the difference. You have to understand that difference. If y'all not working to getting better, sometimes we got a different way of doing stuff. Trina, you try your way, I'm gonna try my way. As long as we aiming to get to the top, it don't matter. It ain't gotta be my way. My way is easy for me, but your way is easy for you. And I was sharing this with a couple of brothers. Me and Mo, there's some things that we agree on in totality. There's some things that we are extreme opposites. The difference is when we talk to people, and I stay with this, Mo can lead a group of people and tell them something. Everybody don't agree with Mo's philosophy. So if Mo has 2 or 3 ways of more people will listen. But if you tell them there's only one way to do it, you lose way more people than you're gonna gain because we don't like one solution things. Because now if it don't work for me, what do I do? Well, he can say, well, DVP said this, and Chris said this, and Michael said this. Now, if he's got an audience of 20 people, he just helped 15 by giving them multiple solutions. When I do these shows, when I post, and if you notice, most time when I post stuff, I never respond because I don't want people trying to get me to agree with me. I need to see what they're thinking. So when I come back and do a show, I can tell you in factual realness what other people are saying. Because if I say this is what should be done, you're going to have too many people saying I agree with you. I want to know what they're thinking. I don't want to take away their voices. I want to hear the different thoughts that they got because sometimes somebody can say something, it's like, damn, all of a sudden shit start clicking. I ain't never think about this, but this is a damn good solution. Add a little twist to it, and bam, you're there. I can't be the master of everything. Hell, I ain't mastered my life yet. I damn sure can't master Mo's life.
Yeah, let me add this. This was a liberating situation that happened to me where I came home one day and my lady was cooking and she said, okay, I got the meat. The meat is cooking right now. Do you want noodles or you want rice with it? Now I already knew what she wanted. She wanted the rice, right? I wanted the noodles. I knew that already, but I didn't say nothing. I said, if I answer, it's going to be an argument. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's going to be an argument, right? So this just came out of nowhere. I don't even know if I formed these words out of my mouth. They just shot out. And I said, cook them both. And she said, okay. And man, if you would have been in the room, you would have felt how free and liberated I was. And I was just like, that was amazing.
Yep, a swoosh of fresh air coming.
Oh my goodness. I know you know. It was amazing, man. And I don't even know how I thought about that, but my point is this. Don't ever get stuck between the black and white. Don't get stuck, man. There's so many variations and grades of colors and decisions that you can make. When you start getting stuck between black and white, you creating your own problem.
Or when you so stuck in everything's got to be your way, you ain't thinking about the team. You know, as my football coach used to say, there's no I in team, but there is a you in unemployed. Where are you standing? Do you want this to work? You have got to negotiate and give up some things. It can't always be about you first. It can't. And what did Jaheim say? You better put that woman first. And you know, when I'm saying this, like I said, I hate with two passions these battle of the sexes when they're unproductive. What about when men do, hey, let's one problem at a time. Today we're going to talk about men who are doing this. And that's why I always say, ladies, if you want men to change, stop giving up the cookies. Trust me on that one. We're never going to change if all I got to do is wait you out for 3 days before you're going to give me something. I can wait 3 days. And I keep trying to explain this to women. If your husband cheats, y'all fuss, y'all fight, y'all argue, but y'all have sex that night and you telling me you better not do it again. You gave him no reason to stop cheating. There was never a punishment. You yelled and screamed. Chances are you've yelled and screamed before. Until he sees that there's a negative reaction, truly, for what he did, we don't learn a lot of shit. We learn, men, we love to say men are visual, but men learn through punishments. Things that hurt us, we stop doing. See, there are very few grown-ass men you will find who will ever lick their fingers and touch an electrical socket because it hurt. It hurt. We don't play around no more. We don't even like electricity like that no more. Ladies, when you see us doing crazy shit, you gotta make it less beneficial to us to keep doing crazy shit. But if I know I can wait you out for 2 days, I can go 2 days without having sex. I'm good with that. Day 3, you gonna give me something? 24? Then I know. See, most of us, Mo, how long you been married again?
About 30 years.
See, Mo been married 30 years. So Mo probably had one of the moments where he's like, I don't know how big his mistake was, but he's like, shit, are we even gonna speak again?
You just know I made a mistake.
Hey, 30 years, I know you got stories to tell. And you know, and one of the things that I love, man, is that I can honestly say I probably know 20 or 30 couples who have been married 30 years. And you know, when we get together and we can talk, and you know, most of them say, yeah, man, I fucked up so bad one time, I didn't know what was gonna happen. And I was just telling somebody, for me, when I knew I had a good one, is when I actually didn't want to lose her. But when we came to a breaking point, we both should have walked away and we fought to stay. That was an indicator of what she will do under stress. See, when everything is going good, you really don't know what you got, because there's no real decisions to make.
Man, you know, I don't disagree with you much, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
Go ahead.
I think you knew she was a good one when you met her. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you, I knew my wife was a good woman. You know, once I got to know her and learned a little bit about her, I knew, man, it didn't take, you know, they say there's a song that say it don't take all day to recognize sunshine. And man, that's the truth. When you see it, you know you got it.
But remember I said I dated some good women, they just weren't for me.
Yeah,
and that's what I say. For me, I need a stressful event to occur so I will know what you do. It's kind of like finding a friend. As long as I got $1,000 in my pocket, everybody's a friend. What happened when I ain't got but 3? That's how you find out who your true friends are. And that's all I'm saying is once you and your SO go through that stress test,
yeah,
and y'all can both walk away and both of y'all are cool with it, but y'all choose not to, now you kind of know what she'll do under stress.
Yeah, that's true.
You know she ain't gonna just leave you for the next pocket or leave you for the next pretty face, and she knows the same thing. And for me, that's a deciding factor, because under stress, I can get rid of this stress and you can go your way, I can go mine. But I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. it now lets me know that we soldiers in the same army now. We fighting the same fight. And that's just one of the things that I always talk about is, have y'all had a true disagreement where y'all couldn't stand each other and y'all hate each other, but y'all end up going back out to dinner?
So let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to tell you how I went through one of them I went through a stress test. Let me tell you how this went down, because it's kind of funny. But we just started dating. I was over my lady's house, and her ex, who wasn't quite out the picture yet, he decided he was going to call. He called, so the phone was ringing, and she said, "Go ahead, answer it." I said, "You sure?" She said, "Yeah, go ahead and answer it." So I picked it up, and he was like, "Oh, my bad." I said, "No, who's this?" And he said his name. He said, "This is me, man." And I said, "Oh, you calling for Gina?" And my wife named Gina. "Did you call for Gina?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Hold on, she right here, man. You can talk to her." He was shocked, man. He thought him calling was gonna cause a problem between us,
right?
But it didn't, because I don't get down like that. So I knew who she was.
And that's one of those things. It's like, I ain't gonna sit there, I go down to the phone. And it's crazy, because when I had a couple of women who wouldn't leave me alone, when I saw them call, "Trina, can you get that?" She's like, "I ain't got to answer." "Oh, yeah, you do." Because these motherfuckers just saying, I done tried to be as polite as I could. Hell, I've been rude, but some women like rudeness. But go ahead and answer the phone and ask them what they want.
You stupid, man. Oh my God. Yeah, that's one way to do it, for sure.
And that's one of them things though, when unconsciously they give you power, because 9 times out of 10 we don't want to answer their phone. Hell, even in marriage, I don't want to answer their phone. But I know if it's certain people, I'm answer, because when I see her mom and them, I want to answer for her because she in the bathroom. And then I'll be like, "Baby, your phone rang." She like, "Why you ain't answer?" I said, "They weren't calling me, not on your phone." Shit.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it's a level of confidence that gets established, once you get to that point, and it's great.
And those are the great things. But again, this is where we got to push positivity. Even when you ain't feeling the most positive, log off of Facebook or something. But you control what's on your page. You control what you post. We keep talking about uplifting each other, making situations better. Mo could have took our first disagreement personal. It wasn't. It was just we had two different thoughts. It ain't personal. I'm speaking from my experience. He's speaking from his experience. I'm trying to learn everything I can. But when somebody asked me a question, and the question was about something, and all I said is they're different guys, because all men are not built to be leaders. So we got to quit saying that men are leaders. All of them are not. Most of them are, but there are quite a few who aren't, and they're okay with being in that secondary role. We shouldn't lessen who they are, because there is no set standard for everybody. There is no set relationship standard for everybody.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Deep. Oh, I was just gonna say, man, one thing that people need to understand is that we all speak from our own experience. I can't speak from DVP's experience, because I'm not DVP. So I speak from my own experience, and that means that I have a perspective, he has a perspective. So, if our perspectives disagree with each other, it's okay, because we're different people. It's okay, and we got to be able to respect that.
Right, and we got different life experiences, and that's okay. And that's why I'm so big on this tool belt. Are men intimidated by women who make more than them? I would have to say yes, because if you want to be the dictator and you want to control this, control that, and I'm gonna use Mo because I know he ain't sensitive. Let's say Mo got a good job. Mo making $100,000 a year. Yeah, we're gonna put him at 150. That's a good job. Yes. Yeah. Mo making 150. He ready to be the man. He meet Gina, everything going good. He find out Gina making 450. Gina want to live in a bigger house than Mo can afford. Is Mo gonna stop dating Gina? Because he can't afford to pay the house. No, she can. See, and this is one of those things where, whoever make the most money around a relationship, that's not true. And I've seen people who subconsciously won't deal with a woman who makes more money because it makes them feel less than. So that's an internal issue.
Okay, hold on. Let me before you hold on where you at, because I just want to add this, because it helps with the argument, because it has a different perspective, and that is this. Imagine if we apply that same thinking in the kitchen. Imagine a dude can't cook. but the woman can cook. All right. So now there's no balance there either. There's not a balance there. So what you gonna do? You're gonna say, oh, you can't cook, so I don't want to deal with you. That's not how it works. Y'all got to figure these things out together and work them together. And what the best way I see how things work is the people who have the skill set, allow them to lead in that department, right? There's certain things I just can't do. And my wife can do them. I don't know how she do them. I'm just like, damn, I'm glad you can do that though, because I can't do it, and vice versa. And we just, we leverage each other's, skill set.
Yeah, let them shine where they shine. I always use Oprah as my example. Oprah makes way more money than me, trust and believe that. But I'm old fashioned. I refuse to let a woman pay for the first date. So what if I was single and Oprah, let's just say she my type, she ain't, but let's just say she was, and she like, let's go somewhere. I'm like, where you want to go? She like, I want to go to the French Riviera. Yeah, Oprah can afford to put us on the plane and go to the French Riviera. I want to do that. But how do I do that without giving up my standard? I'm not. I'm gonna do what Mo said. Cool, let's go to the French River after we swing by the Waffle House. Because I got to pay for this first date. It just ain't happening in my world. The first date has got to be my responsibility. The second date, now we can go to the French River. But the first date can't be on this plane because my Southern gentleman, it's hard for me to wrap that. And I may change my mind, but I need to pay for the first event. If we don't do nothing but go to Starbucks and get some coffee on the way to the airport. But let me just get this in. But I'm not going to sit around and dismiss women because they make more than me. And it's a lot of guys, like I said, they got this subconscious mindset. Because even though I dated one woman who made more than me, but I was still responsible for all the major stuff. And go ahead.
No, I was just going to say one thing, man. Regardless of what your financial standard is, men have a desire to lead and contribute. Whether or not you want them, you allow them to do that, that's another story. But I'm just going to tell you from a man's perspective, we have a desire to lead and contribute, but knowing how to manage that properly, that's sometimes a man's Achilles heel. But that's definitely what we like to do. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. And see, and this was one of our points, because I'm in total agreement, but I can't dismiss the fact that some men are better followers. And that's okay. And I don't want to make them feel less than because they can't lead or because they don't possess this skill set. And that's why I hate when guys say, oh, all men. No, there's nothing that all men are. There's nothing. Some men are just better followers, period. And that's their role. They accept it. They need to be with more aggressive women who like leading. Because there are women who ain't going to follow nobody. Some for good reasons, some for bad reasons.
Right.
But what you got to do is find out what's the match for you. Not what's the match for Mo. Hell, Mo might not be able to get along with Trina. Hell, I may not be able to get along with Gina. That's crazy, Trina and Gina. but guess what? Gina ain't my wife and Trina ain't Mo's wife. So it don't matter how our dynamics versus their dynamics. And like I said, this is where we got to push more positivity and less battle of the sexes. And not even promote it. I was reading an article, it's crazy, and it was talking about Nick Cannon, who I don't care for. For my own reason, I'll do a whole nother show on him later. But one of the reasons that somebody claimed Nick Cannon is so reckless with his seed is because of Mariah Carey. And I'm like, how in the hell did y'all get that? Well, she broke his heart. So she broke his heart, so now he impregnating half the fucking world. But it's just another chance to blame a woman for something. How come it can't be his fault that he's just fucking reckless? At some point, we have to be accountable and responsible for our own decisions. Mo, like most other men, like Michael, like Mason, like damn, how come I don't remember nobody's name now? Like Samuel, like Bobby, most of us have made the statement that we grown. So if we're grown, that means we got to be accountable and responsible for our own decisions, good, bad, or indifferent. See, Trina can't make me cheat. Now, Trina can break my heart, but she can't make me do nothing I don't want to do. If I did it, well, she kept doing this. She made you feel less than, and I still had to make the decision. The decision is still mine, good, bad, or indifferent. Now, why did I make that decision? I might want to try to put that on her, but why don't I just accept the fact that I made it? Mo quit his job because Gina was talking shit. No, Mo quit his job because Mo crazy. Ain't got shit to do with Gina. But Mo don't want to stand up and be accountable for making dumbass, irrational decisions. Because, see, and this is where I can talk to y'all. You know, I love to use the term fragile male ego, because that's why women have to lie to us, because they can't, as much as we claim we want honesty and this and this and that, we can't, a lot of us can't handle it. So they say things to make us feel better. We want to give it to them rough and raw because they want honesty, but if they give it to us, oh, we break down with the quickness. Except for the good man. We still want it, but we still want to present it in a way that's palatable. When I'm messing up, Trina can't just walk up to me and tell me I ain't shit. Ain't nothing good gonna come out of that conversation. It's just not nothing good. Let's just be honest. But if Trina come up to me and let's just say I made a mistake and Trina said, why'd you do this? And we talk about it, she gonna get a much better response. Gina can't walk up to Mo and say, Mo, you stupid as shit. It ain't gonna work out good. Even if he know he was stupid as shit, saying it ain't gonna make the conversation. Now we battle. And this is where we gotta learn to argue or fight responsibly. But ask me a question. Go ahead.
No, I just want to add to that. Remember where you at. I just want to add this. The one thing you're gonna learn, or that if you haven't learned it, you will learn it. If you already know, you gotta allow your mate some grace. That's the thing you gotta allow them, is some grace. When they mess up, don't put your foot on their neck. You know, don't beat them down. Give them some grace. You know, if your wife, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you do this one, you're gonna be divorced quick. If your wife burn the cornbread or the chicken, give her some grace. You know, you always remember that. Give them some grace.
When we first started dating, Trina made, it's funny you say that, Trina made she made some pasta. She put just a little too much lemon juice in it. Guess who ate that pasta?
You ate the shit out of that pasta.
She was like, ain't it got too much lemon juice?
She did. She set you up, bro.
And you know, she looked at me and I was like, yeah, it does, but you made it with love and I'm hungry. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna eat it.
Oh man.
She was like, you ain't gonna complain about it. I'm still hungry.
Oh man, that's funny.
It ain't like it's bad. It's just got too much lemon juice. That's something that's correctable. So now I could have been an asshole and be like, what the hell is this? And guess what? I wouldn't have got no more. I wouldn't have got no more pasta. Hell, I might not got no more food. Again, presentation is everything. If there's a conflict, there's a way you can present it. Not just coming out calling names, ain't gonna get it. Coming out saying, you know, we have a fight. Oh, you did this. Well, you did this. Also, we're playing tit for tat. Where's the solution? If there's no solution based, and guys, ladies, think about this before you start argument. If you don't have a solution for what's going on, I'm gonna just say this: the best thing you can do is probably keep it to yourself till you got a solution. You know, me and Trina had a disagreement the other day, and it was something that had been bothering me, but I didn't know how to say it without it sounding wrong. So it took me like 8-9 days to figure out how to say it, because I want us to have a dialogue. But when it hit me, I was in my feelings and I wanted to say how I felt, which wasn't a good thing. So I had to keep it to myself, because I understand if you speak, because guys we don't like to admit when our emotions side kick up, because we always claim we logical, but we're not. If I speak out of emotions, it's harsher. But as I took the time to think about it, I could form it better into questions and ask her why she made this decision, and then tell her how I felt about the decision, as opposed to telling her she was wrong. Because no decision that technically we make is wrong. It's a choice that we made. But if you don't know the repercussions behind it, I can tell Mo he did something. I can't tell Mo he was wrong. I can say, Mo, when you did this, you made me feel a certain kind of way. Now Mo knows what happened. But if I start telling him he was wrong for doing something, he's going to defend his actions. And we have to learn this. See, there are times when we'll just sit back and say, what could I do better? That's much better than saying, what did I do wrong? Because wrong is blaming. Better is improvement. And we have to learn these simple terminologies if we want to be productive.
Man, I just want to add, you know, to what DVP is saying is one thing we got to know is that marriage is chess, not checkers. In chess, you got strategies. There's a bunch of different variations. You know, there's definitely a you know, complex goal. You know, checkers is a different game. But marriage is chess, man. You got to apply strategies and remember and understand what's going to help you win.
And you know, I tell women, when a guy does something wrong, it needs to be addressed within 72 hours. I don't tell guys the same thing. And it's like, why you don't say that for guys? Because we're different. After 72 hours, we forgetting shit. Women will hold on to shit forever. You can tell them what they did 2 weeks ago, and they can go right back to that moment. If you ask me what I was doing 2 weeks ago, I'm gonna have a basic answer like I was doing the show. What was the show about? I have no clue what the show is about. But if Trina was part of it, Trina, remember you did that show the third Saturday? You did a show third Saturday? You got to be shitting me. No, I don't. So we can take a little bit longer, but they need to tell us when we did something wrong within 72 hours, so it's still fresh in our mind and we can relate to it. Because after that, I got to listen to a lot of what she's saying. I don't know if it's true or not, but you should have got me more when it was fresh. But again, it's about being productive. It's about being productive. And ladies and gentlemen, it's always about getting more resources, getting more tools on your tool belt without the battle of the sexes. Ain't no need in saying, you know, whose woman is the dumbest? It's a stupid test. Well, guys, see, but women do it too. Well, one task at a time. One task at a time. That's one of the things we learn in arguments. If she tells me a problem, I can't tell her that it came because of her problem. Because then I'm deflecting and redirecting, which is something women love to do, but that's a whole nother show. Because I learned that from one of my exes, that if I gave her an argument, the first thing she want to do was turn it on me. And then she got me off the argument. So me and Trina don't do that. She gives me a problem. No matter how I feel about it, we got to talk about that problem first. Now, if in my emotional state, I did it as a reactionary reason, tit for tat, I have to own that. Because why didn't I say something to her? So I'm being petty for something she didn't even know affected me. I don't talk to Mo because he said something out of the way. I'm more like, damn, D, why you acting funny? Oh, you know what you did. How many of us hate that answer? He don't know what he did. What the fuck did I do? Oh, you know what you did. You ain't do this. I ain't do shit. and you know, and that starts just a level of when what's going to be gained from it? When we argue back and forth with these battle of the sexes, what's to be gained from it? You know, I'm going to pick on Mo again for a minute. Me and Mo, we belong to a group. And there was a guy in the group who used to always post crazy shit. I never liked him. But he was pandering. He was an ASW, what we call in my other world is attention-seeking whore. Because he got all these things. He's supposedly telling on everything that men do. Oh, if I get in a relationship, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop my inbox. If I get a relationship, I'm gonna do this. And then he posted something one day. He went in on a woman, and I had to go in on him because I know I'm protective of women. And I want to say I think I sent Mo I sent Mo something because I don't mind going after men who go after women. I just don't give a shit. I don't care if you kick me out of the group. I'm not gonna stand by and watch it. But you present all of this because you're an attention-seeking whore, but you're phony. And yes, you know, man, we got to stick together. Yeah, I'm going to stick together if we're promoting the good of the team. Mo said a lot of things about cops. Oh, some of them I didn't like. But you know what I couldn't do? I couldn't say someone was wrong. It wasn't personal. There was nowhere in Mo's book that he said, Investigator Bell did this wrong. We didn't. And as a grown man, I've learned to internalize that. And when I gave him feedback, I could look at it from both perspectives. I could look at it from an investigator. I could look at it from a Black man. And we could talk about the book. But too many times when people say stuff, the first thing we do is we take everything personal. And one of the things I teach is I tell cops, when people say cops ain't shit, don't worry about it. When they say Detective Triplet ain't shit, worry about it because they've singled you out. That's it. And the same thing is true with social media. When people start making random thoughts about men or women, why do you take it so personal if it ain't you? Now, when I make a post and say Mo ain't shit, then Mo should take that personal. But if I just say black men ain't shit, if Mo know he ain't one of them, why take it personal? Unless he's going to provide something productive. See, when people say single mothers ain't shit or they got all the excuses, the only reason I take it personal is because, again, I'm a defender of women. It don't have to be mine, but I respect the struggle that my mother went through. It's worked against me sometimes because I supported some women longer than I should have, but no woman who has a child or is in a relationship with me is going to have to struggle like I saw my mother did. She did a fantastic job, but you can't tell me it was easy or that she enjoyed it. So why would I put that on somebody else? Oh, because I came from a single parent household and I didn't know what to do. It's the dumbest shit I ever heard. You didn't know what to do because you didn't want to. Because whether it's on social media, whether it's on YouTube, if you want to know better, you can find it. And to do better, you have to know better. There's too many resources out there now for us to be stuck in the same thing, but we all suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorder, but ain't none of us been slaves. We don't even know no damn slaves, but we love to use excuses the minute something go wrong for why we can't do better. So you got excuses for why you ain't shit, but when a woman don't want to mess with you because you stuck in that, you be like, well, you won't even give a black man a chance. Well, you just told me you were stuck in a slave disorder. Who the hell want to be with a slave? As black men, Mo, do you want friends with a slave mentality?
Hell no.
So why in the hell would a woman want to be with a man with a slave mentality? But we keep telling them we stuck in this slave mentality. Oh, you know, the white man been holding me down. He won't let me rise up. So you ain't smart enough to, if you know your enemy, work around it. See, I'm looking at Mo Wall. What it don't look like to me is it don't look like he's standing in a hotel room. Hell, I would say, looking at the little scenes, it don't even look like an apartment complex. Y'all know I used to be a maintenance man. I would say Mo is in a house.
Okay, Inspector.
I want Mo, when you got your house, did you ask the white man if it was okay for you to move into a house?
No, man.
Did you ask the white man if it was okay if you married Jean?
Hell no.
So I'm confused on why we stuck on this. The white man won't do this. What white man are you asking, and why are you asking him?
Yeah, why you need permission?
I'm confused. So if you at that level, guess what? Look in the mirror. Don't make another post about a woman. Say, I ain't shit. I need permission from a white man before I can make a decision. And then sit in the fucking corner until the white boy tell you can bring your ass out the corner. But you want a chance for something, but you stuck with that post-traumatic slave disorder. Because, oh, you know, you ain't never picked no fucking cotton. You ain't got no lawns, no overalls. You ain't got none of that shit slaves had. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You call in to work, hey, you ain't got no job. How many slaves you think didn't have jobs? They didn't get paid for them, but they all had jobs. Look up shadow slavery. So I'm trying to figure out how you got all this shit with all these freedoms, but you want somebody to give you a chance. You want somebody to do this, and you can't wait to blame them. Most of the men want to be at a level before we get into a serious relationship. So we'll bounce around and have sex. Don't get it twisted, ladies. We'll have sex. Sex does not equate to a relationship. You know, everybody like to act like every time they have sex, it's relationship shit. Unless you've been married 30 years like Mo and you're 37, that ain't the way it is. Most of us ain't been that lucky. Okay? So for those of y'all who've been married 3-4 years, you know sex ain't led to no relationship. Stop the madness. But when we want to be in that relationship, whether we are the leader, we still want to, most of us want to contribute something other than the mustache and penis. What is my role in this? How can I make sure that I can do this? Am I going to get mad if she make more money? Are we doing this 50-50? I ain't knocking nobody that want to do a 50-50. If that work for your dynamic, big ups to you. If 9-10 work, whatever works for you, but you got to understand what the roles are. That's more important than understanding you're being egotistical or thinking that you got to be somewhere else.
Let me just add something. I just want to add something to that because this is an important topic that you're breaching right now. And I thought about it a lot. And one of the things I just want to say is don't get caught up in that 50-50 you know, you do this part, she do that part, because I'm gonna tell you right now, there's some things that I have to admit, it bothers me to admit it, but there's some things that my wife just does better. You know, I try to do it as good as her, but I can't. And so guess what? I fall back and I'm like, okay, that's your area where you know how to make the best decision for us in that area. And then I'll come in some other areas. And that's just how we do it. You know, don't get caught up thinking you got to be the best at everything. You know, that's why you're in a relationship.
And that's where you have to look in the mirror. And why are you making certain decisions? If for me, if the person I'm going to be with ain't better than me and nothing, I don't understand why I would want to be with them. Because the only part of 50-50 I'm gonna ever agree with, and I agree in totality with this, is the effort that we're matching. Yes, that our effort should equal up to 100%. But guess what? That ain't even gonna be all the time. Because again, once we get sick, we ain't giving 50% no more. Everybody know this, except for men that now. When we get sick, truly get sick, we ain't shit. We big ass babies. We lucky if we giving 10%. And the same thing with them. Sometimes they're going to have a bad day, but 50-50 should be the kind of where you doing the finance, she taking care of the house. However you do it, you doing the cooking, she washing the dish. However y'all work out y'all so that y'all keep getting to this 100%. Because everybody wants to be able to give, but sometimes one party going to give more, either because that's just where they at. Because sometimes you're just in that mode, you just grinding, you doing everything. And your partner can sit back and relax. But guess what? It come back in spades, because when we sick, we ain't giving shit. And it's their time to step up and shine. And we just sit back and reap the benefits. It's okay. But again, if you want a puppy, then it ain't. Because a puppy, when you're sick, a puppy can't never feed you. Puppy can't do shit but wait on you to feed the puppy. But if that's what you're looking for, again, I'm not finna knock it, because our relationships don't have to fit my image or Mo's image. Your partner needs to fit whatever it is you're looking for. But again, go ahead.
I just want to caution people, man. Don't be out here taking a tally, man. That is very dangerous. You know, when you like, okay, well, I cook Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and she cooked Thursday and Friday and Saturday. You know, that tally stuff, man. That's garbage, man. Especially if you're in a serious relationship. You're in a serious relationship, y'all already are splitting life. You know what I'm saying? If you married to that woman, you're already splitting life. That's 50-50 right there, or 100-100, however you want to look at it. But, you know, don't come in here with no tally. You know, you just do you, be you. Bring the tools and equipment and the things that you can provide the best, and bring them the best that you can bring, you know, and let her do the same. And y'all will be happy.
And why are you keeping score? If I ain't gonna tell you should marry your best friend, because I got a whole definition for best friends, and most time my wife can't be it because we didn't grow up together and go through all the stuff. But your wife, your spouse, whoever should be your friend. And, you know, I used to always tell Trent, I got a friend. One of us owe the other one $50. I don't know who do what, but we don't keep up with shit. We actually had a friend who used to tell us what we spent. We asked him.
Oh shit!
Because you know, we used to like to go hang out, and you know, we have a rotational thing. Let's just say me, Mo, Sam, we go out. Well, the rate of rotation thing is normally I buy the first round, Mo by the second round, Sam go by the third round. This is just what we do, and we just keep circling. But when it got to be Sam's turn, Sam know what me and Mo done drank, and we ordered something different. And he was like, hold on, but when y'all ordered, I only got this. Why y'all doing more? Bro, that ain't how we do it. It's, hey, third round, it's just what we want. But he thought the tab should always be the same. And it's like, dude, we don't count like that. You know what I'm saying? My friend could call me. He could like, yo, D, let's go hang out. I'd be like, I ain't got no money. He said, I didn't ask you that. So I know what that meant. That meant he wanted to hang out. He was coming. He was like, all right, come get me. I got money. We hanging out. Yeah, when I wanted to hang out, I'd be like, yo, D, what's up? He's like, shit. I said, you woke? I said, man, I bet y'all 15 minutes to get dressed. We going out. He'd be like, yo, man, I ain't got no money. I said, I don't remember asking you that. I said, we going out. That's the end of that conversation to me. Because we was going to take care of each other. There wasn't no keeping tabs of, oh, well, we went out this time. Mo spent $75, so we go out this time. I'm only taking enough for, I ain't taking $80 because Mo only good for $75. So who the hell counts with friends? We there for the fellowship. With your spouse, it should be for the fellowship. I don't cook. See, Mo was jigging at me earlier about that kitchen thing. I know he threw a punch at me. He threw a punch at me. But guess what? I don't require my wife to cook every day. And I will bring home 2 meals because I don't even think she should have to cook every day. Yeah, I don't think it's fair. So, no shit, 2 days a week, we're eating out because I can't cook. She's like, why you never learn to cook? I said, shit, I never cared that much about eating. So cooking to me just was an overrated skill. I mean, I like sandwiches, I like cereal. She make a hell of pasta. Guess what I like now? I like pasta. That's why she can't go nowhere. Because who the hell gonna make me pasta? I can't cook. And she's like, well, I could teach you. I was like, nah, I like when you make it. And you know, but that's our negotiation. And everybody got to bring something to the table and relieve stress sometime. But again, it ain't about keeping score. It ain't about being battle of the sexes. Some days we eat at fine dining places. Sometimes we go to Subway. She don't be like, oh man, Subway ain't but $10. I don't want to go to Subway. I want to go to this place where you got to get takeout for $100. Who the hell keeping track? We want to eat. Okay, Mo, remember, we're going to hang out with Sam. He got a black card. So, Sam, where you at? Because we coming to visit you.
You got a black card. We good.
Yeah, we coming to visit you. And you know, and this is the whole thing. We gotta let the competition, we gotta let the negative competition go with the battle of the sexes. We gotta let the negative competition go against our own brothers. And you know, we control this narrative, especially on social media. When you know, there are times when I see so much negativity, I just make it my habit to post some good shit. I will tag people sometimes because I want to promote something positive. This is something we can control. Oh, you know, negativity get this. That's because we push it. You know, I don't like Nick Cannon and what he's doing, but I'd rather post about LeBron. LeBron doing some positive shit. Forget basketball. And, you know, I tell people, I'm not a LeBron, the basketball player fan. I'm not a Jay-Z fan. But for the shit that they're doing, I like what's Jay-Z's name? I like what he's doing personally. I like what LeBron is doing personally. I can promote that. I will talk about that versus all this other craziness going on when it's time. We have to pick our own positivity to go through and keep pushing it because it will get pushed down because people do like, somebody told them, man, if you want your show to blow up, you need to start bringing more negativity because people like negativity. Because people want to be miserable. People want to be argumentative and fighting. My show is different. I try to come up with solutions for problems that we encounter because anybody can bitch and whine, and I don't need to be that popular. He's like, man, look at the most popular shows. They name calling, they doing this, they bring in heat. But what are they doing for the community? I ain't the best at this, but I'm trying to figure out ways to make us better, slowly but surely. You see, I call out Mo, come on the show, quit typing. I could do this by myself. I have for years. But Mo got a great message. And I need to hear his voice. Y'all need to hear his voice. Y'all don't need to see me reading his comments all the time. I invited Sam and Bobby and all them on the show because they got great messages. Michael them got great messages. Come on the show and talk. One guy said he won't come to my show because he don't want to argue with me. And I'm like, dude, who do I argue with? Understand this. When you have a point, if I got questions, I'm going to ask questions. And if you don't want to be questioned, you don't come on the show. But yeah, I'm going to need you to explain some of your thought processes. You know, he didn't believe women should do this. He didn't believe women should do that. Bro, I just need you to come explain it. You may teach me something I don't know, but I ain't going to just let you get away with dogging anybody, but I ain't going to never be disrespectful. Like I said, I ain't agree with some shit Mo say, but you ain't never finna see me degrade a brother because his opinion is different than mine. I just want you to elaborate because sometimes we don't use the right words, or sometimes if we don't set it up first, it don't make sense. So sometimes it requires a setup so we can be put in the right moment. See, when I used the scenario of Mo doing something crazy and getting in trouble, he understood it, but there was a setup to it. So, because we both married, he'd been married a hell of a lot longer than me, but he knows what it's like to be in trouble, to have done something and that fire. He know. Shit, I'm going to say this for Mo. Mo been at that point where she threatened him with the silent treatment. And sometimes when our significant others threaten us with the silent treatment, we don't say what we're thinking, but we thinking, I dare you. because we don't want to hear them talking, but we ain't stupid. Because daring them not to say nothing ain't nothing but trouble. But sometimes when she said, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to you no more," we be like, "Shit, good job." In our head, we're not going to say that out loud. We are not stupid.
Hey, DVP, man, I made sure, you know how sometimes the words, they show in the cartoon, the words come out? I try to make sure the words wasn't come out because I know I was going to be in trouble.
Yeah. It's like, is that a bubble over your head? Because I always tell Trent, I say, I see what you're thinking. I say, that bubble just popped up. I know what you're thinking. You better stop. But, you know, and like I said, this is where we have to work toward a more perfect union with us. It ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to come quick. Mo got 30 years in. I guarantee you, some of them days he was in that quicksand, he was thinking about it. But guess what? Quicksand only hurts you if you struggle against it. Once you relax and have a plan, you can come out the quicksand. But the more you fight against the quicksand, the quicker quicksand is going to eat you up.
Yeah, let me clarify something too. Sorry about that, DVP. Let me clarify
no problem.
something.
Go ahead.
Just want to let people know, you know, 30 years ain't no walk in the park. Let me just tell you right now. 30 years is not a walk in the park. Okay? It's not something that's easy. You got to put in work. If you want to be married, you got to put in work. You got to understand people. You got to respect their space. You got to respect them as a person, as an individual. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and things ain't gonna be perfect. So I know there's a lot of couples out there that's like, "Oh, we never argue, or we have spirited debates. You know, we never had problems." Man, garbage. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. It don't matter who you are, it's gonna happen. You in one of the things that I looked at when I was doing studies about police brutality is proximity. Okay, and proximity is if you live. That's why they used to put us all in the projects, because that proximity in small space, that you will automatically end up arguing, even if you wasn't planning on it. It's gonna happen just because of that environmental proximity. And when you're married, you see that person every day, all day, in the morning, at night. They in the kitchen. When you in the kitchen, they're everywhere. And you got to be able to manage yourself and manage that properly if you want it to be successful. Not a walk in the park, folks, and it's not for everybody.
And what he said is, because like I said, I listen to people. When they tell me they ain't never argued, I stop listening. I stop listening. Because to me, and there's a fine line. When you don't argue, I mean, you don't care. Because Mo can't tell me that Gina ain't never raised her voice. I ain't gonna believe it. Mo can't tell me he ain't never raised his voice at Gina. I ain't gonna believe it. When I hear that, I was like, okay, whatever. You know, excuse me. There are girls I dated that I never raised my voice at. You know why? I didn't care. I didn't care. And, you know, I saw this post. It's easy for a man to walk out when he already got one foot out the door. The relationships I didn't care, I already had one foot out the door. I was gonna ride them as long as they wrote, but I didn't care. The minute she said something I ain't like, it was like, whatever, bye. But me and Trina have had some spirited debates. Spirited. You know? She ain't never said nothing about my mama. I ain't never said nothing about her. But she has talked about my heritage. She's called me names that, you know, I threatened to tell my mama. And guess what? That's all I gotta do. I know it's two things you do to stop an argument. You threaten to tell mom, or you ask them if they're hungry. Fellas, ask them if they're hungry, want something to eat. That's the quickest way to get the temperature back down to normal. See, he laughing. Laughing is a sign of guilt. You know what I'm talking about. Baby, you hungry? Oh, you trying to get on my good side? No, I'm just saying if you're hungry, baby. I'm gonna still let you fuss at me, but you know, when we get some, all that bass go out their voice, all that heat, that 70 pounds they gained when they was taller than you, it just come on down.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, but it's a peace offering, especially when you know there's an 87% chance that you was already wrong. Go ahead and just go ahead.
Throw that one over the fence.
Hey, who you calling? I'm calling Ruby Tuesday. You want that text message? You need to know what they like. Don't ask them. Go on and order something that you know that they like. Don't order pizza. Get something that you know that they like.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Just listen to what D is saying, man. Because here's the thing: when biology gets coupled in with that argument, now your ass got a real problem. I'm just letting you know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do some research. But when biology gets coupled in with your problem, you got a big problem.
And these are the things we have to accept. They're gonna happen, but you gotta know how to, as Mo talked about earlier, you gotta know how to move on. You gotta know how to think on your feet. And do you want the relationship or do you want to win?
Yeah,
that
the
argument.
Winning. Yeah,
which one is more important, the relationship or winning the argument?
You never win, man. When you married or you in a serious relationship, there's no winning. The win is solving the problem and being happy and content with each other. That's the win. If you think the win is you feel better than the other person, you probably need to do some more research.
Yeah. And again, this is that time when you look in that mirror. What is it that you're doing? Because I hate it, and Michael, man, you cool. But I hate when my first 2 marriages didn't work. When I was a boy, I blamed them. As I understood what being a man meant, and I tell you about this all the time, being accountable and responsible, nobody made me get married. That was on me. I had to look into myself to see what I was doing wrong so I wouldn't make the same mistake a third time. But as long as I was blaming them, I'm going to keep making the same mistakes because there's nothing I got to do to make me a better person. When you're in these relationships and you do shit wrong, sometimes it's out of habit. Sometimes it's because you just didn't know what agitated your partner, because all women are different. Know what it is you did wrong, accept that, change that, and become a better person. Don't say, oh, I didn't know you didn't like this. That was not my intent. I'm going to do better next time. But one of the keys to arguing effectively is letting somebody know what they did and how it affected you. Don't tell them they were wrong. Just tell them what they did without calling names. Baby, when you did this, it made me feel like this. We went out in public. You hold 2 guys, you never introduced me. It made me feel like you don't value me or you don't want people to know who I am. Welcome to say, hey, why the fuck you introduce me to them dudes? You got something. That's not gonna end a productive argument. It's not productive. And shit happens. I've met people unconsciously and did not introduce them to training. And to me, it wasn't a big thing. I knew why I didn't like them. And in my world, if I don't like you, I don't want you touching my people. But they caught me slipping and they walked up on me and they say, hey, how you doing? And out of habit, I stuck my hand out. Because had I realized who they were, I would never let them touch me either, because I don't like being touched by people I don't like. And see, my mom knows it now. My mom knows if I don't introduce her to somebody, I don't like them. I don't want you to speak to them because I don't. It's just who I am. I'm petty like that. So now Trina understands, if I don't introduce you to somebody, that means I just don't like them. I don't need them knowing anything about you. I don't want them touching my kids because then I got to stab them. I'm trying to stay out of prison. So she gets it. But before, I understood why she didn't understand. She thought I was ashamed of her. You don't want people to know. Yeah, them people, I don't want them to know who you are. They know. They trying to pull at my soft spot, but I don't like them. But I had to understand what it was because it was second nature to me. But Trina was new to me. Trina didn't understand why I did certain things. So I had to readjust and let her know this is what this means. This is what this means. So now we cool. But you got to have a productive way to talk about what bothers you without throwing daggers. Because most people by nature, when you swing at them, they go into defense mode. They don't go into negotiation mode. See, Mo is allergic to pepper. He can't sit back and tell his wife don't put pepper on his food. It's easy to say, babe, I'm allergic to pepper. It does this to me. And guess what? She'll stop doing it. But it's like, damn, you know I don't like pepper. He gonna fuck around and get something with nothing but pepper just so he can't eat it. It's the communication. And this is where we got to do better. Like I said, it serves us no purpose to be at odds all the time. All the time. We're supposed to be working together to get something so that it benefits us as a whole, not individually. The sooner that we're better as a people, it benefits us all. Just because I do something that makes me better, what does it do? What does it do for more? What does it do for the race? What does it do for society? And we got to let some of this selfishness go if we truly want to be better. If we truly want to have better relationships, if we truly want to stop this dumbass battle of the sexes. Stop looking for shit.
Yeah, let me just throw this in there because this is just something that I learned over my years. I'm I'm pretty sure DVP knows about this, and other people who've been in relationships for a while. But just throw this little tool out there for you brothers out there, man. Make sure when you break down your budget that you have a spa budget. Make sure you put money in for the spa. It's not for you. It's not for you. It's for you. It's for your lady. Make sure there's spa money in there. I'm gonna leave it at that.
And I'm gonna say this, and I ain't gonna do the money show this time. But one of the things that I learned was, you talking about the spa budget. Listen, gentlemen, you get paid. If you get paid every 2 weeks, whatever bank you bank with, open up a miscellaneous savings account. Call it spa, like he just said. And every 2 weeks, put $10, $15, $20 in there. When you get up to whatever the spa costs, send it to the spa. See, you don't have to sit around and scramble. Just start making little deductions. Nothing that's going to hurt you. Because a lot of times, we got this. But if you start taking little bits of sums out, nothing major, you can prepare for this. And when you get to that amount, it's time. I got an account just for my car, for tires, whatever. So when I need something, I don't even look at I was like, I got this already, so shit, I ain't got to worry about it. It ain't coming out of nothing. But this is we're gonna get into budget in a whole nother show on how to save up things. But what he's telling you is true. Even a gift fund. When me and Trina plan the vacation, we open up an account just for the cruise. We put money in it, a little at a time. We know how much the cruise costs, so hey, this is what we're doing, a little at a time, so that it don't hit us all at one time. We got to do this. See, now we're gonna do what we're supposed to. We're gonna put on the credit card and then pay the credit card off. Because we don't want that interest. But you got to put everything on the credit card. So, but this is some of the things that when you're doing stuff, y'all work together on. Mo want to go to Paris for the summer. It costs $5,000. So he get with Gina and say, hey, Gina, this is what I want to do. I want to go to Paris. So I'm gonna work overtime for a little while to make this money. And if Gina want to go to Paris, guess what Gina gonna say? Okay, cool. And if Gina don't want to go to Paris, she don't understand why you're working overtime and spending more time away from her. So these are some of the things that men don't like to tell women that we're doing when we're working overtime to make money. We don't make sure that they buy into the process. What they see is us spending less and less time with them. Mo made a statement. Again, we talked about kids, but it applies to relationships, presence over presence. But there are times, if you're working toward the same thing, your absence is okay. It just can't be for no reason. But if both of y'all know what the goal is, it's easier to accept if she knows that you are working longer to get this trip to Paris. She's gonna probably cook a little bit better because she knows that you're working, you're giving up time. She's gonna make sure things run a little bit smoother for you. But again, this is a plan that the two of you have got to be in on. Now, it's a great surprise, but don't be surprised. Because all of a sudden now you done picked up 2 extra shifts and she at home 2 more nights alone for 6 months. Absent makes the heart grow fonder, or absent makes the heart wonder. If she ain't a part of the process, she might not see it like you see it. Well, I'm trying to do this for you. I didn't want to say nothing. Sometimes you got to say stuff. All surprises ain't good surprises. And one of the things I tell my son, Dad, I'm working to do this. I said, make sure you talk to your wife. Don't let her get in the habit of missing you. Once she gets in the habit of you not being around, it's hard to come back in. She used to you not being there. We don't want that unless she knows why you're not there. It's that communication. Go ahead, sir.
I just want to add to that, because one thing that I just want to add to that is that she knows you the best. So don't miss an opportunity to get some feedback on whatever you're about to do. Wherever you're going, what you're about to do, ask her, talk to her, man. She'll give you some good insight and feedback on what you're about to do. Don't ever leave them out the process. And that goes,
it's just so much easier. Now you ain't got to tell her everything you're doing, depending on how much time it's going to take you to get there. But if you got to work, if you got to do something extended that's going to cause you to miss time with her, she kind of need to know why, so that she don't think that there's another woman. She don't think this. She don't think that. One of the things. 754. One of the things I'm gonna leave on is one of the things that me and Trina agreed to a long time ago, because I understand the process. Even when we don't like each other, we will never sleep in different rooms. Because when you're at a point where something is going wrong, when you're apart, I don't care who you are, your mind goes to irrational thoughts. Fellas, I don't care how you feel, sleep in the same room with her. When you're not in the room with her, she think you calling other women. She think you're doing this. She think you're doing that. And guess what? You do the same thing when she goes stay somewhere else for another night. The best way to conquer that is sleep in the same bed. We may not touch, but we sleeping in the same bed. Now I know what she is. I ain't wondering if something going wrong. My mind ain't in a dark corner wondering if she with some guy. She ain't wondering if I'm with some girl. We still don't talk, but we're in the same bed. And guess what? When you wake up in the morning, things are a lot different. You know, I used to believe the thing where people say, don't go to bed angry. And I'm going to let Mo close out on this. When you try to have a conversation with people who are angry and you won't let them go to sleep, it never goes well. Sometimes you have to go to sleep because when you're angry, you're here. Making me talk when I'm angry is not going to bring me here. Sometimes you got to let the anger subside through sleep. Because it sounds good in theory. Don't go to bed angry. How do you get rid of anger? Keep talking about the same thing over and over again with both y'all frustrated. A fresh new perspective. Sometimes sleep is great for that. So Mo, give me your parting shot on that.
Yeah, parting shot on that is don't set yourself up for failure by implementing rules for everything. You know, when you have when you're in a relationship, sometimes you do new things. Sometimes y'all come up with agreements, you know, it just depends. But when you start setting hard, fast rules for your relationship, a lot of times you're going to fail, you know, because things are going to come up that you didn't even realize were going to come up. Y'all going to have discussions about them. And when you get to the root of them, you're going to be like, damn, I never even thought that would cause a problem. So don't set no hard, fast rules, you know, deal with each situation one by one, and y'all be all right.
You know, be like, hey, take it one day at a time. One day at a time.
There you go.
You can get through it. Like I say, you can have certain things that you want to go, but don't be afraid to knock a wall down sometimes and adjust on the fly. Don't be afraid. You know, I'm gonna say, you know, me and Trent had a big argument. She decided to sleep in another room. She left her phone in the room with me because, you know, she trying to adjust on the fly. I walked up to her, you know, she always tell the story. I walked up to the room where she at, and I just stood over her, and she looked at me. She's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "You ready for the relationship to be over with?" And she said, "No, I left my phone down there." I said, "What the phone got to do with what I said?" I said, "You know, at the end of the day, you're still my queen. I'm not liking you right now, but don't ever think that you're not protected. So unless you're ready for this relationship to end, put on your flannel pajamas, get your pillow, bring your ass back to the room, and get into bed. You can sleep on top of the sheet if you want to, but get your ass back in the bed." And, you know, she looked at me and she laughed. And she understood. But there was no argument about it. You know, she was trying to comply. She left the phone, so I couldn't think she was calling nobody. I understood that. But when I use the phone as a thing, but my thing is, understand, I'm your king, you're my queen. And until you're ready to end this relationship, we're going to be in the same bed together, period. And, you know, that was my hard and fast rule. Everything else for me is negotiable. That's just one that ain't, because I've seen too many people let that one instance go way too far. But like Mo said, sometimes you got to have some flexibility. Sometimes you got to have that flexibility, and you got to have some room to negotiate. You got to always have room to negotiate. And there are certain things that the two of y'all need to agree upon together. You can let those be your hard and fast rules, but I can't just have mine for me and she have hers for her. We can have hard and fast rules. We can have. And that's a negotiation, because you talk about these rules and make sure they both are something where ain't nobody feel like they losing out on something. So it's 7:58, 7:59, 7:50 something. So Mo, I'm glad you joined me.
Yes, sir.
So give out your parting shot for me, sir.
Yeah, man. Look. I'm just gonna say, man, this relationship stuff's not easy, man, and it's not something that they don't have a book for it. You know, you can listen to guys like us though, who've been through things. Don't think you're gonna get the best information from somebody whose relationship is quote unquote perfect. Those people right there, I think they're fooling themselves. You know, it's people like us who've been through real issues, real problems that you want to listen to. You want to hear from us. You want to apply that yourself, so that way it can benefit you.
Thanks, sir. Roy, you got anything for the people?
No, man.
All right, and like I said, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I always think, well, I'm trying to get him to do a couple of shows where I can just sit back and chill. So I think I'm gonna have to send him a threatening letter. You know what? I'm just gonna send Gina a letter. That's what I'm gonna do. I know how to get to him. I'm gonna call Gina. I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hey, anytime y'all got something, man, send it if you want us to talk about it, because we need to have more uncomfortable conversations. We need to stop thinking that everything is going to be smooth or a piece of cake. These are the ways that we become better, because we can throw up different things and come up with solutions with an S, and realize that together we can do this. But we got to stop being so combative and wanting to win simple debates or arguments. We got to start with the battle of the sexes. Appreciate what you got. And if you're the root of the cause, look in the mirror and figure out why you're doing it. It's okay to not want to be in a relationship. Just be true to yourself about it. Don't keep getting in relationships just to have sex and blaming everybody else. Just say, hey, I ain't built for a relationship. I'm emotionally unavailable. Something that I've heard women say far more than men. So we will be back next week, I think. Don't quote me on that, because Trina's birthday is next Wednesday. So if she said she want to do something, I ain't stupid.
We are not doing a show next week.
Well, her daughter's gonna be in town, so I ain't sure what she's gonna do yet. So
we are not doing a show next week.
Hey, well, she might want her public shout out during the show. So, but I don't think we are.
Trina want to do a show, we can do a show. If Trina don't say she want to get on camera, we ain't doing no show. I ain't gonna be a party to that one.
Damn. Ain't that nothing? How I just got overruled like that? So there's a good chance we ain't gonna do a show unless y'all talk Mo into doing. I'm trying to get Mo to be the host when I ain't around.
Listen,
so keep something going.
Hey, you robbed that bank by yourself, man. You robbed that bank by yourself.
See, that's how you know who your real friends are. When shit hit the fan, who's staying with you? You see, I just had 2 friends desert me and leave me on the stranded island. 2.
Oh,
see, hey, and I'm gonna say this before we go. But see, remember I just told you about the phrase at the beginning, bros for hoes. Two friends, and I'm gonna use that. 2 friends, one knows me, one don't. They're gonna make sure I make the right decision. They ain't going with the bros. They be like, hey man, we ain't finna be part of this. We're not finna promote that foolishness. That's what friends do for each other. They don't let you do crazy shit. Even if you want to. I'm finna change my friends. I'm finna block Mo and Roy after this. Hey, all right, with your yeah, look at Sam, you my man. All right, that's right. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks and 22 hours. Up until then, y'all know this. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease. And we out.